Hello and welcome to another Retro Core hardware review, and today's video is sponsored by Extreme Rate. Now Extreme Rate got in touch with me many months ago, I think like 2 to 3 months ago, and asked if they would be able to send me over one of their PlayStation 4 controller cases, the shell for the controller. And I said sure, why not, be interesting to take a look at. Now whether this is going to be any good or not, I do not know. If it's complete and utter rubbish, I will say so. But yeah, big shout out to Extreme Rate for sending this over. We're going to be taking a look at that. And while we're taking a look at that, they also sent me over this little dock here for the controller as well. As you can see, it looks like an American Super Nintendo. And we're going to be fitting it to the infamous, or famous, Knockoff PlayStation 4 controller. And I'm going to answer a couple of questions about this that quite a few people have asked me over the months and months since I reviewed this thing. So yeah, to get things out of the way, yes, it still works perfectly fine. This gets used a couple of hours every week, and yeah, it's primarily a Player 2 controller, and as you can see, the paint hasn't worn off. It's a little bit dirty here and here, but overall not too bad. It's still pretty good looking. The battery still works. It's still not as long as the official controller, as far as battery life goes, but it's still kicking in there. 80% of the official controller's battery power still works pretty well, and the analog sticks are still working. Now a lot of people asked me, what's the connectivity like on this? Well, it's exactly the same as an official PlayStation 4 controller. And something else somebody asked me, a few people asked, is can this switch on a PlayStation 4 remotely? Well, yeah, of course it can. In fact, let's take a look. Okay, so you can see the PlayStation 4 down here, and the TV is here. So let's hold down the button and switch that PlayStation 4 on. Okay, holding it down. You can see the light is flashing on the controller. The blue light has come on the PlayStation 4 down there, and the image is about to come on the screen. There you go. So yes, you can switch on the PlayStation 4 using this controller. Okay, so I hope that answers some of the questions that you guys had about this knockoff. Believe me, this is a very special knockoff. It's a knockoff which is actually made with quality parts. Very rare, but actually a real thing. Okay, so let's take a look inside the box of the controller shell and see what we get. Alright, so we got the actual shell here, and got a few other things in the bottom. Okay, so I guess that's the touch panel cover, 1-year warranty card, some information on the back of that, no instructions though. Got some tools here, a couple of screws, something to pry the casing open I guess, and some replaceable buttons. Alright, made in China. Alright, so let's take a look at the actual casing. Okay, now straight away I can tell you that it has a nice feel to it. It has I wouldn't say rubberized feel to it. It kind of feels silky, like a velvety type of feel to it. Yeah, that feels nice. It feels much better than the coarse paint on that, or the cheap plastic shell on the official controller. But yeah, the back of it, instant textures though. But it does have that nice feeling all over the controller. Very good indeed. Okay. It just clips apart like that. So I don't know if it's been coated with a special rubberized paint or something, but yeah. Okay, so I guess it's just going to be a straight swap. Take the casing off this controller and replace it with this casing. Alright. Now I wonder, does this use official Sony parts even though it's a knockoff? Let's take a look. Okay, we're in like Flynn, as they say. What's that on the... oh, that's that LED, isn't it, for this part? Okay, well I presume we're going to have to take that off, aren't we? Because this one doesn't come with any LED. Alright, so tell you what, we'll just unclip that for now. We'll sort that out later on. Okay, there's the battery inside this knockoff, and as you can see, it's got the motors on it, as you expect. And is that a Sony battery? Let's have a look. No. It is a 600 milliamp hour battery. So I don't know if that's the same that's inside an official Sony controller, but if it is, then it's going to be the same battery. How about the board? Well, there's no Sony signs on it. It says ZFY1 here, but I think this kind of clips off. Yeah, this can just clip off here. There's the board to the knockoff controller. No Sony marks on there, so it's not an official Sony board. And as you can see, the date, the manufacturing date is 2019, and there's a little dot by the 9 here. So could it have been made September 2019? If so, then that's means I got it pretty much after it was actually manufactured. So yeah. So anyway, what we've got to do is get the guts out of here and put them into the new shell. Alright. Let's see how this works. Now keep in mind, I've never done this before. There's a little screw here which we need to take out. This little screwdriver which they've given us is not too bad. It's fairly good. Put that one over there. Actually, it's a different type of screw. Alright. Looks like it just pulls out. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to try and take this out while it's still attached to the board. That looks easy enough to do. Just try and get that under there. There we go. The hooks stick out the way. There we go, got it. Alright. There we have it. That is our PlayStation 4 controller, and that is our touchpad sensor. So I'm guessing we replace that with this one. Okay, now this is an awkward one. We actually have to prise it out because it is glued onto this. So take it slowly. Okay, there we go. That should be enough to be able to pull it out. Okay. Ooh, there's the back of it. And let's make sure we put it in the same orientation. Alright, so that is now in there. And hopefully there's enough sticky stuff on it to keep it stuck on. And what we want to do is get this connected back up to it. So I believe we can just slide this back in here. Okay, that is in. Alright. And what we'll do is connect this back up onto here. It should just clip on. Yep, that's it. Alright. We've got probably the most awkward part done and finished. Alright, good stuff. Okay, well I'm gonna actually see through that now. You see that? Alright, so now what we've got to try and do is get this, this back part here and put it into this case. So let's move all this stuff back for now. And let's take this out. I'm guessing it just clips out. Yes, it does. Right, so we'll clip this into here. This one in first. Alright, you have to push this one in first and then clip it in here. And this should, oops, it should line up here on this little square here. So we'll keep that there and clip that in. Alright, and what this does is it takes the LED light here and shines it up here so it appears on this part of the controller here. Alright, okay, so that's that. We are now ready to put everything back together. Okay. Okay, well that didn't take too long, did it? Alright, let's get the battery thing back on the controller. How did that go? Like this, I guess. Okay. Okay, now we've got to put in the Super Nintendo buttons into here. And here we are. It's a shame it's based on the American Super Nintendo, the ugly one, but this is the one they sent me. Okay, so we're going to have to get the D-pad out of the controller over here, so we'll take that out. And we'll turn it around and put it in here. These little clips here to clip it into the holes on the membrane. That's pretty handy. If we can get them on, that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And do we have the same thing over here? Yes, we do. Okay. Now let's get this onto that. Or at least try. Okay, so new plan. I've noticed that the membrane here is keeping the buttons in when we tip upside down, but these ones fall out. So what I'm going to do is put a bit of tape on here and stick them onto the tape, so hopefully they will not fall out. Alright, and now we'll try and put it on top ways. Maybe we'll have a bit more luck doing it this way. Okay, I think we've got it. Ah, the PlayStation buttons fell out. We'll sellotape that one in too, eh? Oh, and that is not going in for some reason, because it's catching on these analog sticks. So push these analog sticks up. Alright, we're looking good. Okay, so this should... Oh, don't come out the front. The front is in. This should clip on now nicely. Get this part here sorted. So we're all in here, all good. And my start button just works. It's just switched on the PlayStation. Alright, that's good. Just getting this behind here, which is the tricky part. Oh, it goes in here. Okay, I see. Alright, got that in there. Clip it down. Clip here, clip here. Oh, there's the PlayStation come on. Button's still working. Alright, let's get it screwed back up. Okay, so let's take off the stickers. Sure everything is back to normal. And yep, there we have it. Although it didn't fit it together quite well there. But then again, when you look at a real PlayStation controller, yeah, you can see the gaps there as well. Actually, they look worse on here because it's all white, but yeah, they're actually not that different from the official controller. Just that that's black and it blends them in better. But yeah, I mean, it's not uncomfortable or anything like that. If you can... it's tighten up the screws a bit more. There you go, that looks a lot better now. We've tightened up the screws a little bit. Alright. Now the thing is, does it actually still work? But before we check it out, let's put it into the little dock that came with it and see how that looks. Here we go, there's the little dock. Got a little bit of 3M tape in there as well. I guess that's if you want to stick it down to something. And the controller just sits in there like that. Quite nice. Alright. Let's see if it still works on the PlayStation 4. Okay, so PlayStation 4 is on. Let's try the D-pad. Nope, the control pad on. Oh, control pad wasn't switched on. Now it's switched on. Alright. Alright, let's try the D-pad. Yep. Can we go up and down? Let's oh, okay. Yep. Down is working. And up is working. Okay, so the D-pad's working fine. Analog. Yep. No problem. Yep, no problem at all there. Okay, let's go in. Yep. That button's working. Let's go out. Yep, no problem. Square button and triangle button don't do anything. Okay, L and R triggers. Yep. Back ones we can't check here. Okay, let's try the touchpad. We'll go here. And we'll try and search for something. Okay, search. Yep. It's still working perfectly fine and it feels just as good as the official one. Let's see if the push button works. Yep, it does. Alright. Yep. Whoops, it's still just as difficult to use. Okay, we can try the triangle button here. Yep, space. And square button. Yep. Circle. Yep, goes out and square goes back in. Alright, so we are looking good. The controller is working, although I did notice my PlayStation button is a little bit wobbly. Never mind. Yep, that still works as well. Let's just make sure these buttons are working. Don't know if you can... Yep, that's working. Okay, and this one? Yep, that's working too. Alright. So there you have it. The Super Nintendo dock and controller casing from Extreme Rate. Was it easy to put together? Well, considering that was my very first time, it was a little bit fiddly, but yeah, it was certainly doable. I mean, it wasn't impossible or anything like that. So yeah, not too much of a problem. I can imagine if you've done it a few times, it will become a lot easier and second nature. But yeah, as it was, yeah, not extremely difficult. A little bit of patience and you'll be fine. And I've just noticed the 3M stickers that come with it is not one sticker, it's little circles. So I guess you put them in here, so your nice controller stand will not slide about on the table. So anyway, there you have it. Pretty nice case, feels good, and the touchpad works just fine. From Extreme Rate. Now, I'm not getting any affiliated kickbacks from the links in the video description down below, but if you're after one of these, I'll put a couple of Amazon links in the video description. I'll see if I can put Amazon UK and US, as well as Amazon Japan, if there are any for Amazon Japan. Anyway, until next time guys, take it easy and keep on gaming. See ya!